Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. I messed up my own intro, but I am very excited for this game. It is very early on a Saturday morning here in New Zealand, but the Glasgow Warriors going head to head with the Sharks. Now, this game on paper, according to the odds, is one of the most one-sided of all of the games in this round of the URC. Glasgow currently sitting in second, whereas the Sharks, they are sitting down a little bit lower. They are there in the 13th place. But if they get themselves a big upset win here, of course, it does put them that little bit closer to the top 8, but you wonder whether or not it is too little too late for the Sharks. So it's more of the case of, can they help some of the other South African sides boost themselves up that little bit further? But I hope you guys are all doing well. Looking through at the starting lineup, first of all, for the Glasgow Warriors in this game, it will be Nathan McBeff in the front row alongside Johnny Matthews, and then Xander Ferguson there at number 3, Williamson at 4 with Scott Cummins slotting in as the number 5. Then Matt Ferguson, Henko Fenter, ex-South African URC side player, is now going up against them with Jack Dempsey there as the number 8. George Horn and Tom Jordan as the 9-10 combo with Cordero out on one wing, Kyle Steyn out on the other, and Kyle Rowe at number 15. And don't forget about this midfield combo here, Sione Tuipulotu alongside Slade McDowell. They offer a lot of physicality for this Glasgow side, who so far in the season haven't put too many feet wrong. They've been looking very solid. This game's going to be at home. Feel like we could be in for a high-scoring one for this matchup. Looking through at the Sharks starting lineup, there are quite a few players missing that we are used to seeing, mainly the Springbok players. But for this game, they have still got a decent side out there on the park with Juno Justa and Jacobs as the front row, with Kone Ral alongside Gurvan Grubler in the locking duo. Mavisiri at number 6, Labuschagne at 7, and then Hatton gets the opportunity, starting in as the number 8. Grant Williams and Kerwin Bosch, the 9-10 combo with Francois Fenter and Marius Costa in the midfield, or Murray Costa I should say, and then Diante out on one wing, Keita out on the other, and then Boyette Chamberlain slotting in at number 15. But this game, it's a little bit of an unpredictable one, mainly because we know that Glasgow are going to come out firing in this contest, and it's more so a question of what type of Sharks performance are we going to see here. We've seen some South African sides, they are decent when it comes to travelling. The Stormers, they have probably been the pick of the South African sides when it comes to their away games, but you know, the Bulls have been relatively solid as well, with the exception of a couple of their more recent fixtures. Looking through at the previous games for these sides, though, as you can see, the last round of the Champions Cup did take place last weekend, but the side in Glasgow were not there. They were knocked out the week prior by the Harlequins, 28 points to 24, although the Harlequins now making their way through to the semi-final after their last victory over Bordeaux. Then for the Sharks, Champions Cup, they were not a part of, but they were in the Challenge Cup, 47 points to 3, winning over Zebre in the last round of 16. Then in the quarter-final, they were able to get themselves the victory over Edinburgh, 36 points to 30. They've just mentioned it is a perfect day for conditions and also for a game of rugby by the sounds of it. But looking through at what is coming next for these two sides while we are at it, Glasgow, they are going head-to-head with Zebre, except this time Zebre will have the home field advantage, and then Scarlets versus the Sharks. That is going to be the 6:35 a.m. game on the Saturday morning next weekend. And depending on how brutal this one is in terms of the start time, we'll see whether or not we are ready to go for that one. Hello, Labuschagne is an Afrikaans name. Then says Glenn Woods. I assume you're talking about Labuschagne in terms of the Australian, and I think he's originally Greek. Maybe. I think it's a Greek mother, maybe South African father. I could be wrong there, though. But yeah, Labuschagne, normally you do see it quite a bit in South Africa. How's it, Hamish? Says Grant Swartz. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are keeping well. Hope you're excited for this game. It's a very hard one to predict, Grant, but do let me know what you're thinking. Do you think that the Sharks can pull off the upset? Just to put it in perspective, the Sharks are a bigger underdog than... Well, there's a lot of bigger underdogs in this case. Like, they were a bigger underdog than Moana Pacifica were up against the Reds in last week's game, and they were the biggest underdog in the Super Rugby round. They come in as a bigger underdog than the Harlequins did up against Bordeaux, and of course, we did see the Quins get over the line there, and they came in as about the same underdog as we saw for the Exeter Chiefs in their game up against Toulouse. So they're massive underdogs, but you can never underestimate a South African side because when they start firing, they're normally very hard to stop. And morning, Kiwi lads, Sharks the way. Here, Hammy says, Spider-Man, are you still going with the Sharks even if they are missing that list of players that they are, such as no Bongi Ombanambi, no Lukanyoan, no Makazoli Mapimpi, no Eben Etzebeth, no... Geez, that loose forward trio looks very different. So they haven't got Pepsi Buthelezi out there. They haven't got Jaden Hendrickse. Masuku's coming off the bench rather than starting. There are a lot of changes here for the Sharks side. But you're still backing them, I assume. No Apalele Fassi in this matchup. But they have got Biota Chamberlain. And speaking of Biota Chamberlain, he is out there on the field. Glasgow now just making their way out of the tunnel. Evening, mate. Says Dennis, welcome in. Good evening / morning. Says Fleshin. And there as well, welcome in, mate. So for you, some of you guys, this is an 8:30 p.m. start, if I'm correct. Or 8:35 for the kickoff of this contest, which is a little bit later than we are used to seeing for URC fixtures. In terms of, like, I guess for the next day. The ones that are happening Saturday night for you guys. Whereas we're used to a little bit of a later night Friday start. I'm from down under. Do I put my weight behind the Sharks? I have my faith, Hammy. Yeah, I believe Sharks can do it, says Spider Meat there. But it looks like the Glasgow Warriors are going to be kicking this one off from left to right. I think Kilwin Bosch will be the death of the Sharks' attempt to compete, says Ilmar there. That's the thing. We've got to remember there is such a strong defensive mindset when it comes to Glasgow. And I'm not saying they don't score tries because they also do that. But their defensive tackling stats are normally 92%, somewhere around there, highest or close to the highest in the competition. So if this Sharks side want to bust through, they really have to get their passing right early, but it is kicked off now. And we are now ready to go for round 14 of this URC competition. And it is nicely claimed straight away by Gerbrand Hrubela. 7:35 p.m. Irish time. Says, then it's quite a late start in some regards, although it's a nice evening by the looks of it. By this game being rolled back now by Grant Williams. There haven't been too many times that the Glasgow Warriors haven't been able to get themselves a bonus point throughout this URC competition. That's going to be knocked on early though from Kyle Rowe. So it gives half the opportunity for the Sharks, who are now in position about 42 metres out from the Warriors line. Back into their own half. Kerwin Bosch goes across now into the midfield. Here comes Foster. Or Costa, in fact, it was. The advantage is now over for the knock on. Williams sends it back away to Gerbrand Hrubela again, and he has got a big opportunity here and a big role to play because we've got to remember with no Eben Etzebeth, it means that there is a massive gap to fill at lock. That is a knock on there from Grant Williams. Decided to go for the little snipe around the side of the breakdown. Now kicked behind from the Glasgow Warriors. It's out on the full, but they'll go back for the original knock on. Scrum feed now for Glasgow. And good boy Sharks, here's Eddie Kuhn. And also we have got there, woohoo, it's over again. Few just got back in time. So here's Roof, and we have got plenty more coming up tonight. We've got the Super Rugby match between the Blues and the Brumbies. And then alongside that, we are going to be doing the 3 games of the URC involving South African sides. The game between the Lions and Leinster. Then it is the Bulls versus Munster, and then followed by Stormers versus Ospreys. Besides being a fantastic player, Grant Williams has a beautiful name, says Grant there. I wonder why you are, I guess, partial to his name, Grant. To be fair, I should be as well in a certain regard. Bit of a family name. 2 minutes in, though. And George Horn about to feed this ball in. Glasgow rocking the bright purple socks today, compared to the black ones that we see on the Sharks player. Although the Sharks are not in the regular black kit, they are actually wearing the white for this contest, as Glasgow are in the black. It's not very often you see a home team actually assert their home kit, which I guess in this case, maybe the away kits clashed a little bit too. Now going to the short side. Nice attack and run for Glasgow with Kyle Rowe. They are about 45 metres out from the line here. Tom Jordan look for the skip pass. It doesn't quite work out, but Sione Tuipalotu, he looks like he's also decided to wear the purple underwear alongside the purple socks. And those bloody highlighters keep letting me down. The Reds smashed them. Says Glenn Woods. Yeah, that game, like, to be honest, I was concerned that it was going to be a bit of a rough one in terms of I wasn't sure if either side were going to turn up and actually play some good rugby. And to be fair to the Reds. They did play well. Nice run down the wing here for the Glasgow Warriors. They are now back in possession and looking to continue this attack. George Horn goes back across this time to Xander Fagerson. His name's been thrown around a little bit for the British and Irish Lions. Of course, we are only 1 year or so away, or 1 and a bit years. That is going to be the penalty going against Ralph for leaving his feet. I thought he was pretty strong off the bench in the last contest up against Edinburgh. Was it the game prior that he played him? One of those two, though, did look like he was relatively decent and made some good impact. Hello, everyone. Good game here. I'm thinking Scottish are just going to get over the line, says Ruth. And there as well. And this is the opportunity for the Glasgow Warriors to either kick for the corner or go for the 5. Go for the 3, and they have actually gone for the corner. That is the aggressive mindset that we have seen from the Glasgow Warriors. Come on, Sharks, be aggressive like the namesake. GW says Spider Meg there, and no, we need the Sardines to win this for the Stormers, says Grant. That's the thing, as the table sits, there are still rounds to go. And at the moment, the Stormers, they are on 39, so of course 10 points difference between them and Glasgow. I feel like it's more beneficial for the Bulls as well. Of course, it would help the Stormers in the long run, but a nice big line-out throw for the Glasgow Warriors is actually going to be stolen, though, by the Sharks, who have been able to get up and get that turnover at an important time. Now kicking this one downfield, it is Grant Williams. We have got the air, love those Aussies outback Kangaroos. They're sizzling. See, here's the roof. Clearing the lines there was Grant Williams. Going to have a massive role to play here as well. I mentioned about the absence of Eben Etzebeth and about 7 other players that we are used to seeing in the starting lineup. Grant Williams could be a bit of a shining light here for the Sharks if he can stay composed and get the attack going. But now it's going to be in the hands of Sione Tuipalotu for the Glasgow Warriors. They are only sitting 15 metres out for the line. Attack and run from Jack Dempsey. Now going to the short side. George Horn, skip pass over the top. Bit of a chance out wide. Keita's been sat down and wrestles him into touch. So fair play to him. He didn't give up. Got stood on. But he managed to help his teammate put him into the touch. And I am Pro says, Michelle, welcome in, mate. Hope you keep him well. Craigie is a Tuipalotu playing in the Dragons, or for the Dragons, the Blues, and in this game. Says Glenn Woods. And I'm on the Ultra Larry David Beckham diet. What diet are you on? Sharks take it. Says, cool story, bro. What's the Larry David Beckham diet? Cool story, bro. And also, Grant Sharkies lost their false teeth somewhere. They have to locate them again. Says Roof, although they've shown some good strength there to be able to push Glasgow into touch. They are just showing their Henko Fenta come on the Sharks, says Alicia. Or Alicia, it might be. And also, good morning, everyone. Hi, it's 6:43 a.m. here, New Zealand time. It certainly is an early morning Saturday fixture. I think the last time that we covered one of these was probably in the Rugby World Cup. To be honest, we haven't done too many Saturday early morning starts. There's normally a reason for that. They're normally pretty brutal. Looks like Grant Williams just getting a little bit of strapping on his fingers at the moment. In fact, that was Maviseri, I believe. We have got there supporting a team that continually steals your best players is just wrong, says Fleshin. Now line out throw for the Sharks. Thrown in, and this one has been claimed nicely by them. They also don't have Oxenechet off the bench, but they have got Vincent Koch as a bit of a shining light coming from that Sharks bench. So who's your pick for the man of the match tonight, Hamish? I think we're going to see... It's a tricky one, but I feel like someone like a Sione Tuipalotu or maybe, Grant Williams at the moment for the Sharks might get quite a bit of attention. So if the Sharks manage to pull off the win, perhaps could see him do well. Hamish Pro on your background, some track and field picture scene. It is at Olympic Stadium in Glasgow, says Vishal. I've actually forgotten the name. I think it's Scottstown Stadium, if I'm correct. Not sure whether they've had any Olympics events here. I know that they have a bit of track and field that does take place here, though, in the off-season. Now rolling more chance for the Glasgow Warriors. Ball's available there. There's going to be an advantage for coming in through the side there from Daniel Juster. Now going for the cross-kick attempt from Tom Jordan. They'll go back for the original penalty, though. I believe Glasgow will once again look to put this one towards the corner, although they also have to be strategic about it. And remember, all they need here is a win. Daniel Juster straight in through the side. Do you think the Blues jump over the Brummies today? I mean, they should, but it's so hard to tell at the moment. Like, the last, what is it, like Super Rugby-wise, we've seen quite a few upsets last week. This week it's starting to be a little bit more of the favourites, but the games have been unpredictable in terms of the way that they've happened. So it's just very tricky. Just seen that Saints versus Leinster sold out, all 82,000. So yes, Dennis, it's going to be a good game, and we are going to be covering it on the channel only a couple weeks away. That's going to be a knock-on there, or no? Is it line out, not straight? Either way, there was a mistake there for the Glasgow Warriors again. They had Commonwealth Games in Glasgow 2012, an East rep for New Zealand, and the women's MTB. And also High Roof because how's it says a spider mech there as well. But yeah, of course, 2 semi-finals of the Champions Cup around the corner. Harlequins, they are going to be taking on Toulouse, which is going to be a tough battle, but should be very entertaining one. Oats, tuna, egg white, lettuce, day after day after day. Says, cool story, bro. I mean, to be fair, like, it's not exactly a bad diet for you in terms of you're going to get your nutritional value from your food, which is a lot more than most people get. So it's going to have its benefits overall. 8 minutes in. It's going to be now Grant Williams who has got this feed. And that's a massive push there from Glasgow. It looks weird seeing Henko Fenta wearing the black of Glasgow and not wearing it for the Sharks. I think I'm on a chip diet, chips of any shape or form with vinegar and salt and mayonnaise. Mayonnaise with chips? I assume that's with the hot chips, isn't it? Rather than the potato chips. I don't think I've ever heard of someone dipping potato chips into mayonnaise. Keita taking the man out in the air. I believe it was Cordero was jumping up for the ball. Keita did not get out of the way of his landing. It's going to be another penalty going against the Sharks. At the moment, it's just the silly little errors, you know, straight in front of the referee going in through the side. Keita, he jumped too early, doesn't pull out, so he takes the man out in the air. It's going to be a frustrating start for them, but now, once again, you know exactly what this Glasgow Warriors side are going to do. They've kicked it for the corner. I just have Evo in my semi. Says a spider mech there, but currently 9 minutes in. Glasgow have been looking for that corner, but something that has been impressive so far has actually been that Sharks' ability to be able to defend that rolling maul. We haven't really seen Glasgow get one going as of yet, but now Johnny Matthews throws the ball, and that one is a lot better. And this one is charging down the wing there, 5 metres out from the line. Has been dragged down. George Horn goes across to Jack Dempsey. Puts in the step now. There's going to be another penalty advantage, this time for offside. George Horn with the short pop pass up to Max Williamson. Now only 2 metres out. Reaching out was Nathan Macbeth, but he can't quite get there. Horn goes across to Dempsey, again shut down by the Sharks defence, who are still under penalty advantage. Horn goes across to Macbeth, taken down low by his opposite number, Machuno. Oh, big shot, tipping tackle there from Corneral. On the side, here comes Xander Fagerson. Sharks defence holding strong at the moment. Matthews rush defence on him. Now Horn looking both ways, goes off to the left-hand side for Dempsey. It's just phase after phase. Very close there for Matt Fagerson. Now Horn. The space is open. Step there from Kyle Stain. Can't get over the line. Last-ditch effort made by the young fullback Hutton, I should say, for this one. Because sorry, the thought of tuna day after day. Don't like Beckham that much. And Macbeth, now there's a Scottish name. Mayo and chips taste, makes my taste buds recoil in horror. More than mango, Grant. That's close. And Horn has taken the quick tap and they've gone. And the Glasgow Warriors now strike first in this URC opener. Round 14 underway here. Of course, there's also another game taking place at the same time involving Ulster, side that are trying their best to climb towards that top 4. Glenn Mayonnaise is smooth like Hamish's commentary. Says Ruth, but George Horn, the man who has managed to score that first try, and all from Bogota, Colombia. Yeah, just takes a quick tap, and the Sharks called a little bit, I guess, indecisive, and nothing on this planet is worse than mango, says Grant. Surely that can't be true, Grant. Mayo goes with a lot of stuff. I like it with chicken schnitzel, says Glenn, but that one has gone over, so now making the score 7-0 in favour of the Glasgow Warriors. The Sharks are yet to have an attack inside of the Glasgow half. Question is now whether or not that one try has helped them in terms of being able to fire up to that next level and I guess just get an attack going. They've got a class backline in this one. Yes, they are missing a lot of players, but they have still got try-scoring options, whether that's Costa, Fenta, Dianti out on that other wing. And just after some pork chops, veg, spuds, and just farted. Says Dennis there. That's how you know it's working. Oh, yeah. 13 minutes in, kicked him on from George Horn with the little chip. Open space. The Sharks didn't really have anyone back there, but now it's going to be cleaned up. Going for the kick in behind. Nicely cleaned up by Glasgow now on their own 22. Horn not sure what to do with it, so instead kicks it downfield, goes straight to Dianti, who's got space to work with, but he sends it high off his left boot. Chasing after this one. Hasn't taken it cleanly, but Cole Stain has knocked it on, so advantage to the Sharks. And they can now have their first real attacking chance inside of Glasgow territory. Cornet Ral going back and behind. The advantage is over for that knock on. Williams goes back across to Bosch. Tackle made on Francois Fenta. Williams goes off to the left-hand side. Big shot on Just. Williams again goes to Bosch. There aren't many gaps in this Glasgow defence, like I mentioned. I remember what taste was like. But what about broccoli, gem squash, butternut, green beans, chicken, no skin and washed, of any oil or fat, no sauce, no nothing. To be fair, plain chicken's pretty decent. Alright, I went through a patch where I ate plain chicken and white rice for a full month. Nothing but that, like no vegetables, no other foods. I probably should have had something with it, but literally just chicken and rice, no seasoning for a full 30 days. And, you know, that was a weird 30 days. I just tuned in, could hear your dulcet tones. Is that how you say that word? Dulcet's a fancy word. Ikaris for your first comment on a stream, but welcome, mate. Hope you're doing very well. Looks like not doing so well was the number 6 there for Glasgow. Looks like Matt Fagerson was struggling a little bit with some sort of injury. Oh, yeah, okay, there. Come on, Scottish lads. Hamish, your mouth is broken, says Grant. Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit from these commentary live streams. Flush it down with JB. Says Spider Mech. 14 minutes in at the moment. It looks like once again we are going to see a kick towards the touchline coming very soon. Playing a little bit of Darude Sandstorm by the sounds of it. Oh yeah, and it's building up quite a bit. Now, line out throw, AR chicken legs and a sprinkle of Himalayan salt is actually good. No salt, just plain chicken. Now, Daniel Juster, this line out throw for the Sharks. Oh, the commentary's just going a little bit crackly at the moment. Hopefully it doesn't cut out. We actually had a game here. I think it was Lions Ospreys. We didn't end up covering it in the end, which was good news because the whole second half they didn't actually show here in New Zealand. Hamish Bro, it's the Scots Twin Tracks and Field Rugby Stadiums. Says Michelle, what's your favourite sauce? I don't mind a sweet chili. You know, like, as long as it's not too spicy, which sometimes sweet chili sauce can be, and some people are like, oh, nah, sweet chili sauce, not spicy. I find it spicy, though. Go Glasgow. Says Ruth, you pronounced it exceptionally well. Says Ikaris. Well, that was a pure fluke then, because it could have gone either way, I think. Cold chicken and a sambo yummy. Says Dennis. 15 minutes in, it is going to be another scrum beat this time for Glasgow. Unfortunately, the Sharks not quite able to make the most of that opportunity. I spent many years not having salt. Still don't have it much. Once you get your metabolism right, our diet can be varied. Says Glenn Woods. Now George Horn. Oh, okay, right foot white. Sounds like they're playing Twister out there on the field, but I believe he was a little bit too early there from Machunu. No, in fact, it's Daniel Justo who's actually been penalised there. I play lamb chops with mint sauce. Says Fleshin. See, I've never actually had mint sauce. which I feel like annoys a lot of people. I haven't had a lot of things, though, to be fair. As you guys know, I haven't had tea, haven't had coffee, but yeah, haven't had mint sauce in my life. I've had lamb, though. Lamb's alright. It's fun torture. There's fun torture and real torture. Says, cool story, bro. And Hamish's favourite sauce is air. Anything else is too adventurous. Says Grant. Yeah, to be fair, I find sweet chili sauce, I consider that quite adventurous compared to what I used to have. I used to just have tomato sauce and that was it. Now short ball there. It's a chance for the Sharks yet again. Try and mount some sort of offense on the right-hand side. Another knock on though. Mistakes are being made. And now they will go back for another scrum. We've had quite a scrappy little patch in this contest. It seems like both sides have almost got an attack mounted and then just a little handling error or a little mistake means that they aren't quite able to capitalise on it that time. I think it was Mari Costa who wasn't able to hang on to that one. No mint sauce on lamb, good lord. Says Flesh in there. And gots to have mint sauce. Hello, Gareth. You are doing well, mate. Do you feel the Sharks have got a good chance in this game, Gareth? Do let me know. They're currently coming as $18 underdogs for this contest. And great stuff, Skivvy Lads rocked. Please hit that like button. Says Ruth. I'm all about to be fed in by George Horn. I mean, Glasgow, they'll be relatively happy to be 7-0 up, but I think that they also would have liked to have a lot more points on the board after going for the corner multiple times. It's going to be kicked him high from Tom Jordan. Jeez, he's got a bit of that. And that is going dead by about 15 metres. Sugar is Satan's food. Hamish's idea of sweet chili sauce is honey with a singular chili pip on a separate plate. Says Grant. This is when I tell you that I don't really like honey, Grant, so that probably won't work. Yeah, there's quite a list. The Damage Bro today. Point table after this match ends. Which team leader of this World United Rugby Championship? Says Michelle. At the moment, the way that it sits, Leinster cannot lose their top spot on the table. Unless, of course, Glasgow managed to win this game by a massive margin. We're talking like around that kind of 50-point mark. And then in that case, Glasgow would actually have a chance of taking the lead, but they'd also have to rely on the Lions to beat Leinster by a substantial margin as well and stop Leinster from getting that bonus point. So it's quite a tricky one, but more than likely we're going to see Leinster at the top of the bunch again. Good morning. Jeff says it was there from Spider-Mech. And I was working there, Hamish, you're not helping me out there, brother. Says Grant. Now going off to the left-hand side, here come the Sharks. Kerwin Bosch with the step, but he's tackled by Sione Tuipulotu. The knees are down, so they do have to release him. Williams back to the right now. They are 30 metres from the line. If they can get into the 22, they could be dangerous. Have you eaten today, Hamish? I have not, no. That's going to be a knock on there from the Sharks. Again, it's Machunu this time. Does it make the mistake? Another knock on coming. And Grant, Hamish is a connoisseur of note. He enjoys steak, chips, and veggies. Says Ruth. Somewhat, I would say, yeah. Yeah, just a loose carry there. I think it's actually stripped, is it, by Ferguson? No. That was the breakdown beforehand, but we're seeing some good pressure being applied by the Glasgow Warriors. And it's been Glasgow win today with bonus point to take the top spot. Says Michelle, yep, but that would only be until Leinster play the Lions, because more than likely Leinster will get, but they've gone with, they're away from home, so who knows? Sione Tuipulotu, that name familiar. Says Spotamik, you've seen him play for Scotland as well as Glasgow, of course, for a few seasons. Now ball about to be fed in by George Horn on their own 22. Somewhat, how did your mum feed you? Well, it depends on the veggies, doesn't it? Like steak and chips goes all right. It's just depending on what veggies there are. George Horn, he's been eating his veggies. He's going down the wing now with Kyle Stain. That's an interesting way to join a breakdown, but it's worked for him. Kind of went in sideways. I was just hoping that no one would be in his way. Chance again for the Glasgow Warriors, and as soon as they start getting an attack going, they are very hard to stop, although it's going to be the penalty going the way of the Sharks for crawling. It's a massive one for them that will relieve a little bit more of the pressure, and to the Sharks' credit, every time we've seen Glasgow throw something big at them, with of course that exception of the one try, the Sharks have been able to stop it here. Makes you wonder if they can score themselves a try, they could get right into this contest. Who knows, maybe we go into half-time 7 points to 7. I don't mind veggies as long as it's not the only thing on my plate. Says Grant. And Grant and veggies is a no. Says Felician. Now line out throw here for the Sharks and Daniel Juster going down the wing. It was good defence in the end from, I think it was Tino Tenda Meviseri, who is playing at number 6 for this game. Are you a baby bottle baby Hemi or a titty baby? Says Spider Meek. I mean, I can't remember. I assume the second one, but yeah, like I don't remember these things. Spider Meek. Daniel Houston now to throw this one in. Nicely taken at the front by Coneral. Now off the back, going to Grant Williams. Looping around, here comes Diante. He is a long way off his wing, but moving up to the 22 now. Williams. Going off to Daniel Juster. Williams again. They are moving closer to the try line here, the Sharks, and slowly building their phases up. Another short ball, but this is normally when the handling error has come in. Hamish food choices are making me want to have a whiskey. Cheers, Grant. That's probably fair enough. And Grant, eat your cabbage and your carrots. There's the turnover. The knock-on from the Sharks now gives the ball back to the Glasgow Warriors, who look to kick this one downfield from inside of their 22 and looking for that 50-22. Chamberlain is back to cover, though. From inside of his 22, does end up clearing his lines. After my KFC pizza diet came to an end, I lost 30 kgs, 110 down to 80. The reason I did it was because of what I did to my skin. Otherwise, I weigh 120 now. Says cool story, bro. And also we have got there, you just can't beat a good hungy. And the Sharks wrestling big names for the European Champions Cup. Or the Challenge Cup, sorry, semi-final. I'm hoping this team can pull it off. Our biggest league in New Zealand, Hamish. It's like, it's there. Some people are only rugby league fans compared to rugby union, but yeah, like the Warriors got some decent support more recently, and New Zealand don't do terribly in the Rugby League World Cups. And now that's close to a turnover. Yes, it is brilliant work there from Meviseri. He's one of those players that a lot of people wouldn't have known before this game, but now they're starting to know his name. They're a little bit more. Okay, there was someone, for God's sake, Phil. The poor lad before Hamish disappeared from here. Fuel the poor lad. Fuel. Is that fuel rather than fuel? Maybe. I had chicken earlier for supper. That's enough veggies for me. That's a good choice. Gerwin Bosch. Kick that one into touchdown towards the 22. We've had a lot of back and forth in this game, but not really amounting to anything, I would say. And good morning, Hamish. All the foodies are making me hungry. Could have nice roast chicken, gravy, crispy roast potatoes and peas. Now I hope the Sharks win. So here's Brian there. Now 24 minutes through. Another chance here for the Sharks on attack. And it's probably a little bit lower scoring than most people actually anticipated for the start of this game. I mentioned about their Glasgow defence being strong, but the Sharks defence has been very strong throughout this matchup as well. Lol feed, says Dennis. And also we over there, Grant potatoes are veggies, says Ruth. Now looking for this rolling maul here for the Sharks, and it's starting to move a little bit, although it has been shut down illegally, I should mention, so the penalty advantage will go against against Glasgow, I should say. Sharks are still $13 underdogs in this contest, which, to be honest, is no surprise. Penalty will go back. Come on, the Sharkies. Scoreboard stands still. And hello, Brian. Looking good there. Scottish to win this one. Your roast chicken sounds delish, says Ruth there. I think I'm actually, believe it or not even making it up. I think I'm having roast chicken tonight. I think it's going to be the plan. So that's quite exciting. Something to look forward to later on. And Hamish, how long before any Polynesian rugby players get to play for South African teams then? Has there been any of that you know of? I do not know of that, no. Haven't really heard too much. They are just showing once again. Sharks. It's just the replay there, but the Sharks are 5 metres out. Oh, it's not straight. That hurts. That is the moment that you need to get it right. They could have been right on the cusp of scoring. Sharks B team is doing okay. Says Tristan, thank you, Ruth. All my life, I thought Spuds is a fruit. Says Spider Mick, and only brilliant news so far is that Geordie Barrett is eligible to play for Leinster in due time. Says Dal, to play for Leinster. He's playing there for his sabbatical. I assume you're saying that he'd be eligible to play for Ireland, but he also is locking in his NZ contract until 2028. So you'd be waiting a wee while if you're hoping to see Geordie Barrett in an Irish kit. O'Brien looking good there. Scottish to win this one. Your roast chicken sounds delish. Says Ruth and I all says Richard, welcome in, mate. You are keeping well. Of course, you will be keeping a close eye on the other game that is taking place at the moment for the URC. Hopefully you are. Oh, there we go. I'm watching the Ulster versus Cardiff game. Says Richard. Now ball's going to be fed in by George Horn. They're only 6 metres out from their own try line here. Ball's gone in. And listening to you, says Richard. Well, I do appreciate you being here. They have been told to use it. Now Horn goes back across. Big run forward from Sione Tuipulotu. Not on the ball, so can't get that turnover. Cardiff are 7 and Ulster are 0. Says Richard. That must be a little bit of a surprise for the way that one sits. Okay, there, Glenn. That was a bad question. Says Kirsten there. And I was hello, Richard Liner. Says Ruth there. And what's the score? Says Gleason. So yeah, 7-0 for Cardiff over Ulster at the moment. And we have got there, hi Ruth, eating salted Lay's chips instead of my dream supper. Oh, potato chips would go alright for breakfast, wouldn't they? And now going back across the Sharks. They are now 40 metres out from the line. Grant Williams goes to the left here. Another attack and run. Building good phases here, the Sharks. That's something that they've done very well throughout this first half, is not allowed Glasgow to just play their natural game. They have still been throwing themselves at the line. There was a place in Chicago that did chips and duck fat. They were amazing. Oh, another knock on, though, from the Sharks means that the ball has been turned over. Kicked him behind from Glasgow. At the moment, just seem happy enough to give the ball straight back. Now it's kicked him behind. That was a mistake from Kerwin Bosch. It's been taken back there by Murray Costa. Now, 5 metre scrum here in favour of Glasgow, but the handling error, followed by the errors from Kerwin Bosch. I'm inspired by the fact that Beckham inspired people. Says, cool story, bro. And Ethan Hooker is good form. Has to sit out for Fenta, so sad. Says Justin, yeah, Ethan Hooker. I was actually pretty surprised that they didn't start him in this contest, but I guess they are just trying to keep everyone fresh as well for those upcoming games. Like it was mentioned, the Challenge Cup semi-final, only 2 weeks away. Score tells a lot. Coaches picked right. Says Eric Davison. And there as well. But 28 minutes into this contest, another opportunity for Glasgow to be able to mount some sort of offense here. Of course, we have seen the second half is normally what is the make or break for these South African sides. They either stay in it to the final moments, or we can see what happened to the Bulls happen again, which is they just seem to not quite have that bench that they require, plus the stamina to be able to keep up in some of these contests. Whereas at home, for the whole 40 minutes, they are on fire for the first half, and then they fire for the full 40 in the second as well. It looks like the mascots are now trying to fire up the crowd while we have got a bit of an injury stoppage. And Ulster got a kick, so they are now 3 on the board, says Richard. And the game is on 2 different free-to-air view TV channels here in Ireland. So lucky me, says Richard. And as we have got the cool story, with his fame and fortune, he could inspire Dr. Spock too, says Ruth. Yeah, saying that David Williams, the Australian, is the attack coach. And WF Sharks stopped the F handling error, says it all. Yeah, it's about 7 or so, I think, throughout this first half at the moment, which every time that they've had a really good attacking chance, the handling has ended up letting them down. So hopefully it doesn't cost them their big opportunities later on in the game. But for now, they've probably blown 1 or 2 really good try-scoring opportunities due to some poor handling. And my wife, that does roast potatoes and duck and goose fat, are superb. Says Fleshin. And what is your favourite team, Sharks, Stormers, or the Bulls? What about the Lions? Now, you've missed them out. They are, of course, going to be taking on Leinster a bit later on. It depends on what type of day we want. And nobody cares, Gus, says Kristen. And there's, where's Gus's thing? I'm looking through for Gus. They are going wide. It has missed the man out wide. But now stepping nicely was Cordero. Yeah, there's a place that does duck fat. I cared, Kirsten, sorry. We were talking about chips. Now 5 metres out from the line. It's going to be George Horn. Going back across now to Xander Fagerson for Glasgow. Raul looking for the turnover. Wasn't able to get it now. Quick hands again. Fenter gets the offload away to Dempsey. 5 metres from the line. They're over now, Glasgow, with Max Williamson. And we have got there, it should be on C or SC4 here. And we have got there, no, it's a BBC Wales. And we have got Fleshin from Kirsten there, but the try coming for Max Williamson and plain boiled chicken breast and green beans. One moment, we are about to sneeze again. And we are good. I just remember that when your life went downhill, you laugh now, but wait, says cool story, bro. If only you knew cool story, bro. It may be a reason I'm so fussy. We have got there, keep me some please next time I'm drooling here. Says Ruth. 30 minutes in at the moment, and the score is now going to be 14 points to 0. And Stormers forever and ever, says at the net. And also Sharks, says a bystander. And there as well. Cordero doing some nice little bits of tightrope walking out on the wing to keep that ball in the field of play. And Max Williamson, the man who does eventually get that next try for Glasgow. And now I would assume that the odds have gone a little bit more against the Sharks. God bless you, mate. Says a Dennis there. Now Kerwin Bosch kicking this one off for the Glasgow Warriors. Jack Dempsey taken down by Raul. And hey, says Kirsten from Fleshin, did you do a poll? I did. The Sharks were about 70% likely to win this game according to the poll. I'm not sure whether or not everyone knew the lineup that the Sharks had gone with in this game, or the fact that the Sharks are ranked 13th on the overall table, but that's what the poll said. It said that they had a very good chance. And to be fair, if they had their better handling in this game, they'd probably be right in it. I believe that Sharks miss a few players here. Hammy says Spider-Mink. They certainly are. Missing a lot of their Springbok players. Another knock on here from the Sharks, but they are going back for the original penalty in their favour. And just kidding, I'm bored, Fleshin. That means that you must not like the commentary much, I guess, which is unfortunate. And I, bystander from Cape Town, says Ruth. I do find it interesting that you said you're bored, though, and then someone brings up a different topic and you go, no one cares. So you're kind of shutting down the new topics that may make you less bored, Kirsten. Now 5 metres out from the line. It's going to be now 5 metres to march for the Sharks. Their maul, last time they were in this position on the field, they did have a not straight line out that ended up costing them. Can they get this one right? And if they can, they'll be back in it. Now, I love your commentary, says Kirsten there. Now, nicely taken by Rubela. It's called as the same maul. They break off the back. That's going to be the advantage in favour of the Sharks. They're going to be held up only about 2 metres short. Now looking for this ball. Grant Williams gets it across to Rubela and just held up and turned to his back there for Raul. Oh, advantage not releasing again here. This could end up being a yellow card for Glasgow if they're not careful. Again, inches from the line. Grant Williams. Who does he find as that next pass? I'll eat boiled chicken only in another dimension, not on this planet. Cross kick attempted. Dianti goes up for it. And the ball rolls dead. So we will go back for the original penalty. Stormer supporters hope the Shark lose, says Bruce. And as we get there, hey, says bystander, Dianti. So he's going to be helped back to his feet. No, in fact, he stays down. I think he may have taken a bit of a knock. Not too much vitamin D and food. That's why I take my shirt off in the sun for a minute or two. Fair enough. You just randomly out and about. And you're just like, yep, it's coming off now. Dianti, yeah, it's got back to his feet, which is good news. Only 6 minutes remaining now in this first half that planted at Hamish's house, apparently, says Grant. No comment. Sharks testing their depth for the squad and also believe key players get resting for their Clermont game. Says Dale, yeah, it's one of those ones that with how hectic the schedule is, you got to make sure that you are trying your best to, I guess, balance out your best team as well as trying not to, overuse those key players. The thing is as well, though, the Sharks, they shot themselves in the foot the last few games that we've commentated for them because they haven't chased a bonus point. So the thing is, at this point, they aren't really in the running for the quarterfinals anymore. It's more so a case of they're just trying to, I guess, build slowly up the table so that they finish in a decent position by the end of the year. Oh, yeah, get that at I, says Kirsten there. Now 10 metres out. Grant Williams, another offside. Machunu now. They've done well to stop him. I think it was Sione Tuipalotu who put their last-ditch effort. Now, nicely dragged down 5 metres. Is a girlfriend watching TV or in bed while you stream? Says bystander, none of the above. Because I don't have one. Now 2 metres out. That was very close. It looks like this is going to be another penalty going the way of the Sharks. And now I would say double blow of the whistle is required here from the referee. This seems like way too many penalties all out about 5 metres from the line. Tomorrow I'm going to be watching 5 games, 4 of them are on at the same time. Wow. What 4 games are they, Richard? Are they Premier League? Is that what's on at the same time? No, what's overlapping? I know that 2 URC games. Oh, yep, there we go. Scott Cummings, he has made his way from the field. The yellow card after repeat infringements coming here from the Glasgow Warriors. 3 minutes remaining. I mentioned about that Glasgow defence, how it often doesn't budge, but having less men on the field, I don't have girlfriend, no worries, Hamish. A breakup's never easy. Says bystander, how's Diante been so far? He's been a bit quiet out on the wing. Another penalty advantage against the Glasgow Warriors. They're doing a bit of what Scotland did in the second half up against Wales in the most recent Six Nations. Nice stepping from Chamberlain. Finds the pass away to Kerwin Bosch, who knocks the ball on. So they will go back for, once again, another penalty. Leinster versus Emirates Lions and Ireland versus England ladies rugby overlap. Okay, so that's 2 of the 4 at the same time. Which other games are on at that same time too, Richard? Okay, the referee just said, I've just given a yellow card. I've got no problem giving you another one. Giving them the fair warning there. And Sharks Forever says, Elaine, hopefully I said that correctly. Now the Sharks kicking for the corner with Kerwin Bosch. We okay there, but Roof, reducing inflammation through diet can help you sleep real good like. Says, cool story, bro. And also, we there, me too, says Spider Mick. 3.5 minutes remaining. If they give away another penalty, I would think that Glasgow have a good chance of going into the halftime break with only 13 men on the field. They have timed that one a lot better. But here come the Sharks, rolling very nicely forward. Oh, 4 got told to get out of it, and he didn't get out of it. That will be the try, I believe, for the Sharks. Yes, it is. They've broken through. Very lucky for Max Williamson not to get the try, or not to get the yellow card, I should say. I was hoping Leinster bring their island players to South Africa, says Luke. I think a lot of people were, but you can understand at the same time why they didn't, with the hectic schedule that they've got. Munster versus the Bulls and Scotland versus Italy, ladies. Says Richard there. Hosh has been proven to be the glue that holds us all together. He's simply superb. Says Ruth. And there is, oh, that was a nice rolling maul try there. Daniel Justa breaking off the back and manages to score the try for the Sharks. They haven't had many opportunities in terms of being within that 5 metres, mainly because of the handling errors that have come beforehand. But with a man advantage now, you're going to make the absolute most of it. Always a problem with ref if South Africa team plays overseas. I think the ref's been fine in this game. If anything, he's penalised Glasgow a lot. But I feel like South Africa would be more than happy with how the refereeing has gone. Which games of the URC won't you be covering, Hamish? Well, the plan is to cover all 3 of the South African games tomorrow. And they are all of the URC ones that we are doing. So Leinster versus the Lions, the Bulls versus Munster, and then the match between Stormers and Ospreys. So that is the plan. That kick has missed though from Kerwin Bosch. Now we're going to make the score 14 points to 5 with just 1 minute 30 remaining in this first half. I also got another 3. Says Richard. I sleep just fine. Nothing can stop me from sleeping. Says Ruth. And also, we are bad losers, Hamish. Says Kirsten. They just showing John Plumtree. Glad that they got themselves the try throughout this first half. Just to have some sort of reward on the board for the amount of chances that they have had. But yeah, the handling has definitely been the part of it that has hurt the Sharks the most. Glasgow look like they're trying to steal that ball in the breakdown straight away. And they have got themselves the turnover. Ball not coming out. So it is now going to be the scrum feed in favour of the Glasgow Warriors. Getting it straight from kickoff. Kerwin Bosch is not good enough. Says Tristan, a love interest. That has been staying with me, left about a week ago. She's cheating. And should I nip it in the butt? I mean, if she's cheating, that's probably a good idea by standard. And just agree, ref was to blame, says Kirsten there. And Sharks know Bosch can't kick, yet they back him. Says, look, yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't go with Masuku. Like, I get that they want to rest him a little bit, but then saying that, he's on the bench anyway. So there was a chance, if there was an early injury to Kerwin Bosch, that we could see Masuku play for 70 minutes. So, you know, with that mindset, you've also got to think maybe he would have been better off just starting the game rather than coming off the bench later on. Now, 40 minutes has just passed. We hear the siren. About to be fed in now by George Horn. Does go down in the front rows yet again. It's like we are going to have another scrum reset now. Glasgow to score now would probably, I don't want to say secure the game because they are still down to 14 men and their discipline has let them down throughout this first half, but it would certainly put them in the right direction going into halftime. And I feel like anything less than a 2-try lead, they'd be a bit disappointed with after the amount of early chances that they did have. Although credit to the Sharks, of course, with the way that they've been able to shut down Glasgow's attack. We haven't seen a huge amount of it in the recent maybe 15 or 20 minutes. Ball is now fed in by George Horn. My aunt cheated on me. Says, cool story, bro. It's an interesting scenario. Cool story, bro. Does aunt mean the same thing in South Africa as it means in New Zealand? Because if so, like, she's related to you quite closely. Now coming off to the left-hand side with Matt Fagerson. Goes to Zander. 10 metres from the line now. George Horn back to the left. Chance for Glasgow. Jack Dempsey now recycled quickly by George Horn, who's already scored 1 try. Are the Box playing today for the Sharks? They are not. No, the only Springbok and there, I believe, is Grant Williams in the starting lineup, and then Kerwin Bosch, Vincent Koch off the bench. Did you know the last time Deontay scored a try was in 2019 against the Stormers in Johannesburg? I did not know that, no. There's going to be another penalty going the way this time of Glasgow. This half doesn't seem like it's going to end. 42 minutes through, and Glasgow have got another opportunity. They're having the team huddle. It looks like they are. Again, going to kick this one towards the corner. They want that bonus point. Tom Jordan has been told where to kick that one from. Has put it into touch 5 metres from the line. Now they have got themselves another line-out chance. If your aunt cheated on you, you must be from Pretoria. Says Grant. That's probably offended a lot of people, hasn't it? Johnny Matthews. Line out throw again here. The 3 tries coming so far throughout this first half. 2 for Glasgow, 1 for the Sharks. But another chance here for Glasgow. Close out this first half on a high. Johnny Matthews. To throw this one in. Nicely taken by Max Williamson. He is another player who has been able to score alongside George Horn. Trying to roll this one forward. Not really going anywhere at the moment. George Horn will have to use this. And straight through the middle. That is a penalty against Raal. And now a little bit of push and shove, so they make the most of it there. It's going to be Xander Fagerson and Raal holding each other. Steyn goes between the posts. You got to play to the whistle. And in that case, just a bit of an error made there by Raal, getting fired up, letting his emotions get the better of him, and maybe should have been in that defensive line. Now there's push and shove taking place here. Looks like Murray Costa, after making that tackle, may have got it landed on. And it's all kicking off for this game in Scotland. And cool story. What do you mean aren't cheating on you? Don't tell me, oh no. And also there, I thought you were going to say something else there. Says Fleshin. And come on the Sharks. Says a bystander. Kyle Steyn. The captain quick tap was taken and then scored it between the posts. That's well done by George Horn. That's now the second try that we have seen be scored off a quick tap for Glasgow, keeping it alive. And it happens sometimes. It's your uncle cheating on you with your auntie, says Ruth, and she's 55. But she's pretty immature for her age. It's not Benny Hill thing. And these comments are way better than any TV show, says Dennis. Yeah, it's becoming an episode of Dr. Phil in the chat, isn't it? Now, up to 44 and a half minutes in this first half. Okay. Kyle Steyn has just had a bit of a chat there with the referee. And he's just pretty much said, you've had scrum penalty there, line out penalty twice, about 5 metres out from their line. You gave us a yellow card. He said that he wants the referee to work with them rather than against them and be consistent, which is a bold thing to say to the ref because he's normally going to be like, nah. And I think the ref just said fair enough, and that was about it. But now half-time in this contest, ladies and gentlemen, 21 points to 5, and nicely building for the Glasgow Warriors after their third try comes in the form of Kyle Steyn just before the first half ended. And we there, well, I hope Dickie's channel has been taken down. Says Leslie Hamish is going down and left. This is a platform, mate. Says bystander. And also bystander, better now than later, wasting your precious hours. Says Ruth. And there an O. Says Spider Mick. Yeah, second half just going to be around the corner. We will get some stats to do with the first half of this contest, but it has certainly been more in favour of Glasgow. Although saying that, I think the Sharks would almost have the advantage in position, if I'm correct. Looking through here, it doesn't have this stat for me by the looks of it. Oh no, that's the overall season stats. One moment, we'll refresh and we might get to see it here. And we have got there, man, Sharks. I guess it was going to always be difficult away. Says, cool story, bro. Looking through at the stats for this first half, possession is 51% for Glasgow. So had it not been for those last couple minutes of attack, it would have been the Sharks who had the advantage there. 3 tries scored by Glasgow. They are 1 away from being able to get themselves their bonus point. 3 clean breaks for Glasgow compared to the 0 of the Sharks. 14 defenders beaten for Glasgow compared to the 2 of the Sharks. Territory's been 50-50. Tackle success percentage, Glasgow sit with a 97% tackle completion compared to the Sharks who sit with an 81%. I mentioned how hard it is to bust through this Glasgow defence. They do not miss tackles very often, but they did give away a few penalties. 6 in total for the first half compared to the 5 of the Sharks. And Glasgow have got the man in the bin at the moment in the form of Scott Cummings. We've got everything going in the chat. Heartbreak, Auntie Shaggin and a bit of rugby. I hope so. We've had some questionable things on here. Says Grant in there as well. And also Sharkies, remember where the try line is, says Ruth. I think that the handling errors have been what has really hurt them throughout that first half. They probably had about 7 or 8 opportunities that were dampened by a handling error. Number of tackles so far leading in this game. It is Hinko Fenta for the Glasgow Warriors. We've also seen most meters made for the Sharks is actually Diante, with George Horn having the most for the Glasgow Warriors. And we have a thanks, Amish as a burner of coverage of Rugger, says bystander. And also just looking through at a few of the other stats in terms of clean breaks. Cordero is at the lead, and he is also the lead for defenders beaten. Just the one defender beaten for Kerwin Bosch. He is considered the leader for the Sharks. How's your uncle, cuz? There's a spider meat there. But the other game that was taking place at the moment as well in the URC competition, ladies and gentlemen, is happening between Ulster and Cardiff. At the moment at halftime, it is 6 points to Ulster, 7 for Cardiff. It's pretty close overall. I think it's going to be a very interesting second half here for the Sharks. Never again watching Judge Judy. Just come on here and read the comments. Says Dennis. And there as well. Yeah, I feel like these early morning / late night live streams for you guys in the Northern Hemisphere and South Africa, there's always different types of chats. Hamish, do you live near gangster? I am a gangster, Luke. But no, I don't live, not that I know of. Like, couple people maybe nearby-ish like to sell some things that aren't supposed to be sold, you know, but I don't think they're gangster. I think they're just bogans. So, yeah, probably not many gangsters around the place. Which one? There's a story on this that Grant is hinting at. They support until Hamish is mainstream owned, says Bystander. What's wrong with being mainstream owned? Like, as long as they can't change what I'm doing on the commentary. Like, we don't really say anything controversial that much anyway. Anyone know what happened to the Rugby Ascendant? I haven't seen him around. Not sure. To be honest. Like, I know that he was doing the World Cup. I don't know if he's done too much since then. I know that a lot of people in terms of the rugby YouTube side of things got burnt out after the World Cup. And after doing so many games of like that competition in a short period of time, I think a lot of people wanted a break. I don't know if that's the case for him, but it may have been that he's having a bit more of a break afterwards, trying to be fresh for the July internationals, which are just around the corner. Of course, just around the corner as well, the playoff games for the URC getting closer and closer. The Champions Cup semi-finals getting close as well. Good crack on here, says Dennis. Hamish, do you live down the street from a golf club selling drug dealer? Says Grant. No, your catch and draw is not being mainstream. Don't sell out like Incubus. Says Bystander. Incubus. What is Incubus? I don't know what that is. I mean, a sponsor would be nice. Maybe not mainstream, but like a sponsor would be ideal, seeing as, you know, we're still working a full-time job alongside YouTube to try and be able to pay for the YouTube channel, but still good fun. I don't think I'll be up at 6:30 a.m. on a Sunday or a Saturday morning, though. Normally Sunday late night is when we are on the streets, but the sun's coming up. It's a nice enough day. I'll be asleep for most of it because I think we're going back to sleep later on today so that we can be fresh for the Super Rugby live stream, which is the next one we have got. Are there any rugby streamers in New Zealand that you know of? Hamish says, Luke, I know of 2 Cents Rugby, but he doesn't do too many streams. He only seems to do maybe one every week or 2 weeks maybe. Seems to be what Mark's schedule is like, but he does a lot of other videos, of course. Incubus are a big rock band. Says Glenn Woods, in definition of a bogan, like a redneck. A little bit. Like, slightly. I don't really know what the best description of a bogan is, other than just, like, if you've seen a bogan, you know what a bogan is, if that makes sense. Just showing the highlights of that first half. Saw 3 tries scored. 1 for Max Williamson, 1 for George Horn, and then 1 late for Kyle Stain off the quick tap. And also George Horn's try came off a quick tap too, so scoring quite efficiently when it comes to being able to keep that ball alive quickly. The Sharks have got themselves the 1 try. That is Daniel Euster, who was able to score it. And Glenn, so our ACDC, says Ruth in there as well. 2 Cents in China at the moment, Glenn Woods. Yeah, but even before that, he was only kind of going for that 1 Super Rugby stream. I think it's normally the Blues is the game that he does cover, seeing as that's his side. Incubus maybe should have mentioned Silverchair Burner, says Bystander. Just showing some of the highlights of that first half. We're seeing quite a bit of Jack Dempsey throughout this game, but hasn't quite been able to go through Glasgow kicking Sharks' butts Says Ruth, in the way that the table sits, if Glasgow are able to get themselves one more try and then increase that points differential, there is a slight chance that they could sit top of the table at the end of this round. They are closing in on Leinster, but they have to win pretty much all their games from here. Their next contest will be up against Zebra. That is going to be next week. It's Leinster, they've got a little bit more of a tougher finish to their URC competition. You've got to remember, we've only got a few more weeks remaining. We're up to week 14 of 18. So there are 4 games to go. For Glasgow, they have got Zebra, then they have got the Bulls, then they have got the Lions, and then they have got Zebra again for the final week. Whereas for Leinster, in terms of how they're going to be finishing their competition, they've got the Lions now. Then they will have their game next week up against the Stormers. Then they have got the week after that, Ospreys. And then the last week, or the last 2 weeks, sorry, I should say, they've got Ulster followed by Connacht. So it's going to be interesting to see who's at the top of the bunch. Both sides do have to face 2 South African teams. The Bulls, could they make the late comeback? Work towards that first place position. They, of course, have to get themselves a win over 4th place Munster in their game that is taking place tomorrow. We are going to be covering that one on the channel. And Hamish, nice beak or nice break on the peak. Love it, mate. Says a bystander. And Bogans from Pretoria. Low IQ, high pain threshold. And they make good forwards, says Kirsten. And people from Pretoria with aunties as their mothers. Ever think of doing radio? You'll be really good, says Dennis. Not really, to be honest. Like, I feel like this is one of those ones in terms of YouTube that they're a bit similar to radio, but like at the same time, like the fact that I can talk to you guys in the chat does make the big difference. And why is this chat group not on the rugby game, says D? Because it's halftime. We've covered all the stats to do with the first half. There isn't too much extra that we can say other than the fact that the Sharks dropped the ball a lot throughout that first 40 minutes and the Glasgow Warriors took their quick taps and managed to get themselves to 3 tries. But yeah, we went through the stats early, and now because of so long that these URC halftime breaks are, we end up talking about other topics as well. We have got there Bogans from Pretoria, and also been approached by media or current quantities. No, nothing at all. To be honest, like no mention from any sort of like thing like that, but I didn't expect them to as well at the same time. And Bogans, mullet haircuts, rugby league shirts, that's the one. Love Iron Maiden, says Spider Meek. And there, Hamish, have you acknowledged your tribal chief yet? Says Luke. I mean, maybe a little bit, but at the moment you got to acknowledge the American Nightmare, don't you? Looking through at some of the other games that are going to be taking place over this round of the URC, Leinster versus the Lions, that is taking place at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning, New Zealand time. We are going to be covering that game on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, so if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The Bulls taking on Munster as the game that will closely follow, and then the Stormers versus Ospreys, the game that has taken place after that. Right, these 2 sides now making their way out of the tunnel, and they are going to be ready to go. I'm looking forward to the second half because I feel like the Glasgow Warriors, they've got the momentum, even though they have got a man disadvantage. I feel like there's still a little bit of something left in this game for these 2 sides. Oh. Okay, we've just heard Fez Mbata has made his way onto the field. That is for Daniel Euster for the Sharks. I believe that is the only change that we have seen, but now second half is going to be underway. Smell of smoke in the cold weather takes me back. Does the Curry Cup ever play in New Zealand? Not anymore. They used to show it, which is when we were covering the competition, but now that they don't show it anymore, we aren't actually able to watch it, which is a massive shame. Hamish could be approached to star as a leading man in a movie about commentating on rugby. I don't know about that. It's a reach. Only deserves more Rico. Says bystander. Now George Horn. And we'll still have only the... Well, that's the thing. They had an extra 4.5 minutes of their first half, so they probably aren't too far away from being back to the 15 men on the field here for the Warriors. Back across here, Glasgow. Sione Tuipolotu ball on the outside. Looks like they're going for the chip in behind, just looking for some open space. It's going to sit up now for Kerwin Bosch. Looks to run this one forward, but he's tackled nice and early by Stafford McDowell. Cardiff got another try. Favourite coffee, says Luke. I have never tried coffee, so I cannot comment on it. I feel like if I was going to, it'd be like I don't know, one with milk, I guess. I like to see the scene of Hamish at the bowling alley. There's Grant. I wouldn't mind rewatching that one too, to be honest. Now, 42 metres from their line here for Glasgow. Tolly is in the chat. Oh, sorry, Toxic Termite is in the chat. Hello. Hope you are doing well. Now, George Horn goes for the box kick. Almost charged down there by a forward rolling Gerbrand Robela. Another knock on from the Sharks. It's no different to what we saw throughout that first 40 minutes. I'm thinking about going to South Africa looking for a girlfriend. I was told South Africa girls know how to move, says Spider Mech. Well, that'll be useful if you're trying to get her to move back to wherever you're from, Spider Mech, which I think is New Zealand, isn't it? So it's important that they do like to move so they can come back with you. And what about, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that word means. So they are 14 and All-Star 6. Says Richard, coffee is acidic, Hamish. Beware, never touch it. Says cool story, bro. Hamish, I'll send a latte, but milk will be a curdled, mate. Says bystander. Looks like we've got a bit of an injury here for the big man, Max Williamson, who has had a good game so far. Got himself a try. Also has been one of the pivotal members of that forward back. Where is Tolly? Is Tolly a nickname for one of the players? Who is... I'm trying to think of whose name is close to that. Hamish, I feel New Zealand girls are better than South African girls. South African girls fight too much, says Luke. Yeah, obviously haven't talked to many New Zealand girls either because they are a little bit the same boat sometimes. Depends on who you talk to, of course. The Sharks need to wake up, says Dominic. Yeah, it's just been hurting them. The fact that they've had so many knock-ons throughout this game. I think they're up to about 10 now. Problem is how to bring it back to New Zealand. South African girls, make sure Afrikaans, says bystander. Now they'll scrum feed, George Horn. And this is just allowing Glasgow to play the game at their pace as well. Not having to rush it, not having to worry about what the Sharks are going to throw off at them. This channel has totally taken my mind off food in terms of being hungry. Tell you what, at half time I was starving because, yeah, we talked about food throughout that first half and it really made me want food. Now ball is there. It's going to be a reset, too much movement at scrum time, too much going that way rather than that way. I think that the big change for the Sharks is going to be when Vincent Koch makes his way onto the field. Brazilian women know how to move. Ask me how I know, says Glenn Woods. We'll take your word for it, Glenn. But now, 16 points difference. Another word for your mummy daddy button. Your mummy daddy button. Mummy daddy button. What is a mummy daddy button, Grant? I guess you're going to say the tolly, but shut up, Glenn, you're stupid. That was a bit rough, Kirsten. Now, I do want to know, Glenn. Let us know, just to annoy Kirsten. A scrum feed for Glasgow. This uses up plenty of time on the clock. They only need one more try here, Glasgow, to get themselves into that bonus point position. 37 minutes remaining. This channel is Dr. Phil 2.0 Rugby Edition. Don't say no. He's been here in Sydney, and I've got to know a few. Says Glenn Woods there. Nice. Yeah. Oh, George Horn finds the offload to Jack Dempsey. Is now 25 metres out from the line. Oh, wait, Johnny Matthews. Grant drank too much today, says Luke. And that is going to be another penalty going the way of the Glasgow Warriors. That time for offside against the Sharks. They're just being their own worst enemy throughout this first 45 minutes of the game. 6 penalties, I believe it is now, against the Sharks at this stage of the match, which isn't a terrible number in terms of discipline. It has been worse in the past for them, but it's just the most unopportune times that they are giving away those penalties. Now line out throw for Johnny Matthews. 35 minutes remaining in this game. And Ulster down to 14 players. See, as Richard, and that reminds me that Glasgow are now back to 15 after having the 14 men on the field. Their rolling maul has gone down now. Johnny Matthews fires it out the back door to George Horn. Tuipalotu. He's dragged down by Kerwin Bosch. Sharks defence, they were 81% in terms of their tackle completion as your bathing costume area. So they were just saying a random word, and that was it. Lovely. The Sharks been bad in the previous games. I feel like they just haven't had enough attacking intent throughout some of their most recent games. Like, you wouldn't think they were ranked 13th. You think that they were easily in the top 4 and that they are just looking to get wins under their belt rather than chasing bonus points. But they're at the point in the season now they need bonus points or else they've got absolutely no chance of making it through. Grant, how many fingers am I holding up? Says Ruth from Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. And also the Hamish emoji there from Luke, but 10 metres out for the line at the moment. Looks like Dow has been lifted up. They were trying to call it as a rolling maul, but the ball is still there for Glasgow. Back across to Xander Ferguson. Good driving tackle there from the Sharks. 3 men pushing him backwards. Now to the short side. Thought about the offload was McDowell. So they have now got an injury as well here for Glasgow. Doesn't look too flashy, though. It looks like he's going to continue. I believe that was Jack Dempsey. Bongi not playing. He is not. No, they've got Fezambata as well as Daniel Justa, although Fezambata, the replacement, now on the field. Done homework on Sash. Fly half from South Africa. There's bystander. Are we talking about Sasha Ngumezulu or are we talking about a different man than him? He was just so professional and unfazed by hooligans on here. He manages to keep calm and relax. Rocked it big time. Says Roof. And now 5 metres out from the line. Horn gets it away to Kyle Rowe. Yeah, I worked that out, Grant. I got there in the end, and that's going to be down for Dianti. They're going back for the original penalty in favour of the Glasgow Warriors. Just some very good attacking intent from Glasgow here. And Luke Skywalker, bye-bye, Bongi. Risky, get a red card, says Ruth. And they've had a few injuries as well, the Sharks, over recent weeks, so they don't really want to risk too many of their big players with the Challenge Cup semi-final that they have got just around the corner. They are going to be going head-to-head, I believe, with Benetton, I think. We'll just have a quick look. Is it Benetton that they are facing? I think it is. Oh, no, sorry, they're facing Clermont. Benetton taking on Gloucester. I should have known that. Definitely because we said it last week. Kerwin Bosch looks like he's getting a bit of medical attention here as well. I don't see fingers. I'm not a fingerist. You know his name, Amish. Yeah, very good player. Says bystander. Kabunga has scored twice for the Scarlets tonight. I wonder if he can get motor insurance. Says Eric. Is this match on TV in Ireland? I am not sure, sorry. As I'm not in Ireland. But someone who's watching might be in Ireland. Could be free to air. Maybe. I think Richard was watching it on a free to air channel. I believe you're holding a victory sign. I know you're a mangoist. That kind of sounds interesting, doesn't it, Fleishan? Now, looks like the scrum is once again going to be in play for the Glasgow Warriors. This time they are 5 metres out from the Sharks line. Opting to go for the scrum rather than the line out here. Oh. Okay, the referee, they were just about to set a scrum, but I think a player was down for the Sharks. There is a sub being made morning off to work. So I thought I would stop by first to put the thumbs up and go to weld some train bodies. Be safe, everyone, says Yikes. So we will see you later on, maybe for either Super Rugby or the URC Yikes. Masuku now making his way onto the field. That is for Kerwin Bosch. Does look like he's nursing just a little bit of an injury here, Bosch. And definitely a mangoist. Mangoes can eat a bag of eggplants. Sears Grant. Time's starting to run a little bit slim. If we see one more try here from Glasgow, they would be more than happy with that. Would be fun if the Sharks were winning. Hamish, what's the problem with the Sharks here? Their handling has hurt them big time. They have probably had 10 handling errors. And that's another penalty going the way of Glasgow. Can I have your details? Let's make it happen. Lost a girl and spent $1,400 on woman. Can I have your details? Let's make it happen. Lost a girl and spent $1,400 on woman. What kind of details, bystander? Are you saying that we're going out on the rack, going to find some ladies, or what are you insinuating there? Which Super Rugby games are you covering? Just the Blues versus Brumbies tonight. So that is in about 11 hours' time that we are going to be covering that game, and then also the URC. We're doing the 3 games that are taking place and that competition. But George Horn now, the ball has popped out the back door, and the poor Sharks, says Annoy. Now running forward nicely there from Ral. Grant Williams goes back into the pocket to Masuku. And it does get that ball into touch. And that's the Ulster versus Cardiff game. Says Richard and Sharks look like more like guppies, not much aggression. Says Ruth and poor Sharks says Annoy. Yeah, they've just unfortunately had way too many handling errors. Their penalty count hasn't been terrible. It's just been more the timing of when they've given away the penalties has hurt them a bit more. Bus account email available. Money spent on hurt money. Bus account email available. Bus. I'm very confused by stand, as you can probably tell by my face. My bus account? Like, as in, like, the account that I used to buy, like, a bus ticket? Are you doing the Munster match tomorrow? We are, Connor. We are going to be covering their game between Munster and the Bulls. That one's gone backwards from Johnny Matthews, 22 metres out now. Going across Kyle Rowe. Another offload there. Look, the business account. I get it now. Sorry, I was very confused, wasn't I? Do you have Instagram, bystander? We've got a Kiwi Lads Instagram. Now 25 metres out from the line. George Horn. Back across to the right-hand side. Big shot on Johnny Matthews. Little chip in behind. It's going to be claimed there by Masuku. Flicks it out the back door. Here comes Diante, who has to just kick it downfield on his left. You reckon Blue's going to win, Amy? I think they've got a decent chance of getting themselves the victory. Sharks need to play Diante more. Get him back in the box. I can put my Pimpy on the bench. There's a look. Although, like someone said, the last time that Diante actually scored a try was in 2019 or something, I think they said. And he's had a few opportunities since then. I thought he had scored since then, to be honest, but I could be wrong. 30 minutes left. And this match now, Glasgow putting together phases on the halfway line. Sione Tuipalotu trying to step through. He's tackled by Fezambata. Another low tackle is made. Off to the left-hand side. Chance there for Cordero, who had the most defenders beaten and clean breaks throughout the first half. Referee says play on. I think that they were asking for a penalty for offside there. I think George Horn tried to milk it, and the ref said nope, not happening. Our ref card is still available. Says bystander there. Now looking for the pass across field. Ripping one man off him. Horn. Oh, that's going to be a drop ball this time from Xander Fagerson, which gives the Sharks half a chance to get back into this one. Bystander, don't get hurt. Get yourself a winner, not a loser. Says Ruth. And there as well, but the time has been turned off. Like I mentioned, the Sharks will have themselves the scrum feed here. A try now would put them right back in this game. They are currently down by 16, so they certainly need something big soon. I was surprised. It was the Reds' first win since 2016 over the Highlanders. Says annoying. I mean, the way that they did it as well. Like, they went for it. They got a 31-0 victory over a Highlander side that at the start of the season, some thought we were going to have a good run, but they're just slowly getting worse and worse, aren't they? RC, are you single? Don't mind me asking. Says Spider Mick. I can feel my body eating its fat cell. I'm so hungry. I do have some lettuce in the fridge. And these Sharks are making things worse, says Cool Story Bro. Good bit of lettuce goes a long way. Now, there was a patch where we thought my cousin was actually part bunny rabbit because all he'd eat was lettuce. Like, he'd just get a full head of the lettuce and then it'd be done in about 10 minutes. He doesn't eat it as much now, I should mention. And just advice, I'm a catch, told as much, thanks, says bystander. I've been happy as a single broad after my disasters. So happy to be free, says Ruth. 100th appearance just around the corner. Yep, a huge surprise, 31-0, says Annoy. Just showing it again. I did that at 18, but lettuce is back, says Gold Story Bro. Now making his way onto the field. 100th game for Gregor Hiddleston, I believe. They have just mentioned. So Johnny Matthews is actually making his way from the field with some sort of leg injury. So hopefully nothing too serious, although it's serious enough to take him off the field here. While those contests, looks like Vincent Tshuka also making his way onto the park for the Sharks. Our route up belongs to Hamish's commentary, says Grant. But Vincent Koch, he looks like he is about to make his way onto the field as well. Bystander, you'll be snapped up for sure. That chick was has your name on her forehead. I wish I was not single. I wish I had a girlfriend, says Connor Crowley. And he was like, oh, looks like Quincy Muna going to be making his way on. Nope, not allowed to yet. Oh, they have to do all the announcements. Look like Lavaskakni has made his way from the field. That is for Vincent Tshuka. Holy smoke, what's happening, says Johan Lavaskakni. It's a good performance from Glasgow, although the Sharks, if they can get themselves 1 or 2 quick-fire tries, they are back in this game. It's just whether or not they can hang on to the ball enough and not have those handling errors that can then put some phases together and try and build a bit. Now, big push there at scrum time. Advantage going the way of the Sharks, who now go away to the left-hand side out wide to Dianti. Good low tackle made on him. And also got a try and a kick, says Richard. And freedom is George Michael saying happiness, says Russo. 13-14, says Richard in that game. So a close one between those two sides. Ulster and Cardiff now going to the short side. Grant Williams, Dianti puts the pass. One more. Here comes the big man. Matunu reaches out and he scores the try for the Sharks. Stop being frisky. No kid, no married. A hit in South Africa, single in King and Queen, says bystander. And I was very good there, Grant. Yeah, says Ruth, but that is going to be the try. Like I've just said, they're still in this game, the Sharks. They were $26 underdogs. I'm not sure what they'll become now, but they are back in the contest. They needed the try, and they got it there. And that's the big man, Matunu, who was just about to go off the field. We've got to remember, Quincy Mona, as well as Vincent Koch, were just about to make their way onto the field. They were told no, and Matunu said, okay, well, I'll stay out here and get one more try then. One of the Sharks Springboks players being rested for, please, says Glenwood. So in 2 weeks' time, they have got their Challenge Cup game for the semi-finals, but also those same guys did play last week in South Africa. So I think they've gone with more of a travelling side so that they can stay fresh for those next games that they've got around the corner. Ulster back to 15 men. So here's Richard there, but now Masuku to line up this kick. Sharks currently sitting on the 10 points with the kick to come. This is an important one, but not a hugely substantial one in terms of the outcome of this game. And it's missed away to the left-hand side. They still need 2 converted tries, or 1 converted and 1 unsuccessfully converted in typo. She will hurt in the long run, thank you. Says bystander, comeback is on, says Grant there. And yeah, it's just a good outstretched finish from Matunu, who I believe now would have been taken off the field. Yeah, it looks like Quincy Mona is now there, and another penalty goes the way of the Sharks. They're starting to roll here a little bit. Oh, and a bit of push and shove happening to Matt Fagerson. Getting scragged by his jersey. Who scored it was Matunu, who scored that one, and the previous try was scored by Daniel Justa. Is the URC deemed less important than the Challenge Cup, says Hanoi. For the Sharks, it is. The Sharks are sitting 13th on the overall table, so there was no way for them to really make it to the quarters. So they've realised that the Challenge Cup is now the competition that they can go far in, and they've already made it further than any other South African side in the Challenge Cup. Okay, so Kyle Steyn has just been told by the referee that the Sharks do get to march forward the 10 metres for that little bit of afters, and the penalty is in favour still of the Sharks. I see Sears Hanoi there. 11 points difference, 20 minutes remaining as well. This is more than doable for the Sharks if they can find their momentum. Glasgow, they had a great first half at times. Second half, they haven't done too well. You don't choose who you love, your body does. You have to ignore it every day while you play video games. Says cool story, bro. Your body chooses who you love and you have to ignore it every day while you play video games. Right. Good. I feel like that's almost inspirational, but at the same time slightly confusing, right? Challenge Cup is a priority for them. Good explanation, thanks. Says Glenn Woods. Oh no, Ollie Kebble's the man with the 100th match, not Hiddleston, my apologies. I don't let anyone ruin your good side and humour, okay? Says Ruth. Now line out throw for the Sharks. They will be 35 metres out from the Glasgow try line. One more try here will turn this game on its head and mean that it is a completely different finish to the contest than anticipated. But the Glasgow Warriors have also got to remember they had a yellow card earlier on, so they can't really afford another one. They've been told to use it. Grant Williams going back across. Their handling has been a lot better throughout the second half as well for the Sharks, and it's starting to mount with some decent offense. Oh, it was close to a knock on there for Grant Williams, but it's come off the foot, says the referee. Vincent Tachuka now hitting the ball up. They are 30 metres out from the line. Knock on, this time coming from Chamberlain. And just as I praised them for their handling, that is when the next handling error occurs. They just mentioned there that Grant Williams was trying to possibly milk that one to pass it into Matt Fagerson, but he wasn't quite quick enough, which actually meant that in the end, we saw the bounce pass to Bjorta Chamberlain. Hamish follow the Sharks into victory. Says bystander, is that Quincy Mona already down? He's only been on the field for approximately, oh no, that's Fezambata, I believe. Yeah, it is. I was about to say, Quincy Mona's only been out there for about 2 minutes. Thought he was already down, but 19 minutes remaining in this game, ladies and gents. In terms of the odds, anyone who is wondering, the Sharks are $21 underdogs at the moment, but if they win a quick penalty here somewhere along the lines or get themselves a try, that will change things. And I should mention, Glasgow is still yet to get themselves the bonus point that they are chasing throughout this game. And where's Grant gone to bed? Says Ruth. And come on, Ulster, says Richard. There as well, Ulster got a kick, so it's now 16 points to 14. Nice. Getting back in the contest. George Horn now with the scrum feed for the Glasgow Warriors. And they won't want anything less than the bonus point. Hamish stats pre-Rugby World Cup curious. Like as in for the channel or in general? Because like in terms of like Super Rugby and also URC, the numbers are no different really. If anything, they're less than before the Rugby World Cup when we were doing it last year. It's going to be popped up there for Keita, who is a man who was seen very limited running from throughout this game. I'm still here, says Grant, and hello Grant. Says Ruth. Ball is now going to be available there. And 16 Ulster, Cardiff's 14 with 66 minutes gone. Says Dennis. Ball popped out the back door, and Glasgow have been able to get that turnover now. Sione Tuipulotu breaking through one tackle. Wasn't able to find the offload. Horn goes away to the left-hand side, bit of a floaty pass. They're going to try the cross kick. That's what they tried late in the game up against the Harlequins. And that's the same result. It's gone into touch, not finding the hands of their winger. And it now means that Glasgow have got themselves the line out. Of course, the last game that we saw Glasgow in action for was up against the Harlequins, 28 points to 24, and nobody does it better than Hamish Commentary King. Says Ruth there as well, but Kyle Rogers not quite able to bring that one in. Looks like an injury here for Henko Fenta. Didn't look too happy about it either there. But the ball's going to be thrown in now for the Sharks. Masuku, they actually played on, even though he's down at the moment for Hinko Fenta. They did decide to still go with the line-out romantic love as a curse. Some rather love someone as a friend in a partnership or marriage. Says cool story, bro. Our short ball from Ollie Kebble almost got Cummings through a gap. The only player so far throughout this game to have a yellow card. Brilliant run from Tom Jordan. It's a sniping run from the fly half, who now moves to 10 metres out from the line. Counter ruck coming from the Sharks. Ball out the back door. It is picked up by the Sharks now, who have got themselves the counter-attacking chance. Offload on the inside. It's going to be knocked on, though, this time by Maviseri. I'm just waiting for Hamish to say something ridiculous again, like salt is too spicy for him. Says Grant. Watch with Hamish's com Jim. Another Sharks in their white strip. They are, yep, alternative strip for this contest. I agree with you there, cool story, bro. In spite of sense, having time for work. Everyone till later. And ka kite from New Zealand by says Spider Mix. So we will see you later on. Of course, the next game that we have got is the Blues versus Brumbies matchup. And then the 3 games of the URC. We are also going to be covering from Grub to Love. Oh, what's next, I wonder? Says Dennis. He actually had an overall pretty good game, Tinder Mavisera. Decent at number 6, but brilliant run from Tom Jordan. Okay, now Hingo Fenta has stayed down for a little bit longer. Tried to get back up to his feet. Looks like he is struggling here. These knock-ons, says Ruben. Yeah, it's been frustrating. Like, the Sharks, the amount of times that they have had a good chance to score, and then they drop the ball, that's like, it's almost getting close to double figures now in this game. I've got to go and work this weekend. Up and out tomorrow. Says Ruth. And Sharks won the try line. Says Ruth there as well. And so far, just the 2 forwards have been able to score. In fact, 2 men in the front row. Machunu as well as Yusta. How many hours until the next feed? Next feed is in about 11 hours' time. Next game for the URC is in 17 hours' time-ish. Somewhere around there, a little bit shorter, maybe 16 and a half. The Sharks have eggplants for hands in this game. So as Grant, looks like another change is being made. Tom Jordan making his way from the field, and that will be Thompson, who makes his way on the field now. Will we ever see a game between the Box and New Zealand take place in the afternoon instead of the night in New Zealand, says Luke? Not sure, to be honest. I feel like the nighttime game is just a stock standard start time for those matches. Maybe one day. See an afternoon one. I believe Hamish would be useful in the Matrix. He's got stamina. Here's cool story, bro. And we're on the field today, and who is possession? Says trying my best at the moment. It is in the hands of the Glasgow Warriors. The scrum feed was in their favour, and they were about 40 metres out from the try line. But they almost just dropped the ball and lost it. Still available, though, for Glasgow. Kyle Stain has to play halfback. Sharks, they need to stop Glasgow from getting that bonus point try, or else that might take them a little bit too far ahead. And Tom Jordan, with a brilliant sniping run before, almost helped them get there. I'll pop it in behind. Rush defence from the Sharks is effective, still 42 metres out from the line. The Sharks can help fellow South African teams, but as usual, they disappoint. So here's a Ruben. Out to the short side. George Horn. Again goes back, Cardiff 17, Ulster 16. So here's Dennis. Across to the left-hand side. Well, that was close to a knock-on there. In fact, no, they've set it as a knock-on against the Sharks. Now sniping run. Now that is the knock-on. And Glasgow know how to hold these guys off now. Says cool story, bro. That's the thing. The longer that the Glasgow Warriors aren't able to score their bonus point, the more of a chance that the Sharks will feel that they've got. Grant, that's funny. That's Salt of Spice and Hamish likes playing. Too much salt can kill one. And Sharks to win the knock-on trophy. Says Justin, Cardiff 17 to Ulster's 16. Says Richard there. Second half is well and truly in play at the moment. That's the thing. I feel like the Sharks have something in them to come back into this game, right? But they have to start catching the ball, and that's the big difference. 15 last minutes of this game as the sun starts to come out here in New Zealand. As you can see, that is why the screen Was going a bit weird. Now it's, oh no, now it's back. I don't know what changed it. Because I put my hand up maybe? Nope. And our ball is available here for Glasgow again. And there is going to be the little knock on there from this time Glasgow. So it means that the Sharks have got themselves the scrum feed who's kicking today for the Sharks. So it did start with Kuhlenbosch and now it's Masuku. So both men have missed all of the kicks that they've had at the post, one each at the moment. Both sitting 0 from 1. Yeah, that short ball to Sione Tuipulotu. Oh, it was a bit high from Maviseri. Wasn't a lot of a dip at the hips. Might have been why contact was just that little bit higher. Oh, and it sounds like they are actually going to the TMO now to have a look at this one. Sharks in deep water, Scottish salmon running with it. See, this will be disappointing for the Sharks if they finally have the chance with the ball in hand, but then have foul play. It was high. Like, I don't think he meant to hit him high, though. And people hate Marnie Lebok for kicking this, says Ruben. I don't get the hate that Marnie Lebok gets. Like, yes, he misses the occasional kick. But in terms of his attacking skill, like, you still like see more from him in terms of the impact that he brings to his side. They're just showing the replay again here. And put Bosch on 15 and win. So yeah, trying my best. Although he has dropped the ball about 3 or 4 times today, Kurtwin Bosch, which is why they took him off after only about maybe 45 minutes. Sasha Fanberg Ngumezulu. Got to watch. Matt Field said he's gold. I agree. Says bystander. At this point, Sharks need to buy Honbre Pollard. They're showing the wrong clip at the moment. They are looking at foul play against one of the Sharks players, but it was a Glasgow player. 1 moment, please, says the TMO. Just trying to find the right one. We are still waiting to be able to see it. Here we go. This is the one that we're looking for. Kind of karate chops him to the side of the head. You don't see that too often. The writing's on the wall. I think they think it's all over. That's all she wrote. Fat lady has sung. Got an uncle in the furniture business. Game over. And also the block misses. He gets balls to the wings. Attacking advantage line. So yeah, it's down. Yeah, like he offers so much in terms of the amount of tries that we've seen him assist throughout the last 24 months or so. Like, people don't realise when he's assisting a try, that's 5 points rather than the 2 or 3 that he misses every once in a while. So like I feel like he gets more stick than he deserves, Marnie Lebok. Aaron Dowie misses to the left. Says Chemo. Yeah, it's more of a karate chop to the side of the head, which sounds weird to say, but it is. Like, it's just a little... having one of those. Okay, they're saying maybe... yeah, he's kind of slapped the ball. This one's going to take a long time to look at, unfortunately, by the looks of it. There's no high degree. They're on penalty kick only. I think that's a pretty soft penalty to give away, to be honest. Like, it's just a case of Tuipulotu's changed direction. Like they've just said, from some angles, it doesn't even look like he's really got him. Lebok is my favourite. Bonenbarrett got plenty of 8 because he couldn't kick. Says Glenn Woods. And 5 minutes left still. Cardiff 17. Ulster. Oh, there we go. The referee has had some common sense there. Because originally they were talking about penalty only. Then they've just said it's just a change of direction. There was nowhere really that he could have gone. And yes, he was flying across, but no, he hasn't made a huge amount of contact there. Big talking point tomorrow game. Bulls versus Munster. Bulls back the scrum trio, 19, 21, 23 years old. Van Heerden, Ludwig, and Low. Dying to see what these young attacking backs, back 3 do. Says Adele in there as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. See whether or not they can, I guess, compete with Munster, who at the moment, whoa, I'm disappearing. That came through very clearly. It kind of looked cool, to be fair. Oh, it's gone now. But yeah, it's going to be a big test. It's so dark at the moment. That is because of the sun, ladies and gentlemen. That is right here. As you can see, it's quite bright. But that's going to be the penalty there, going the way of the Sharks now. Just looks like we've got a massive white square next to us on the stream. We are covering all 3 of those URC games tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. First of which is Lions versus Leinster, followed by the Bulls versus Munster, and then that is followed by the matchup taking place between the Stormers and the Ospreys. I've got to work early tomorrow. My boss is French. Says Ruth. Yeah, great scrum coming from that Sharks front row, backed up by the rest of the forward pack. Now, line-out chance for the Sharks, who are only 11 points down. I know that 11 points sounds like quite a few. Hamish caught some vitamin D there, although we got the double glaze window, so I don't think I did. I don't think it got through, unfortunately. Now, Grant Williams going back across. They haven't made that change at 9 as of yet. They decided to keep Williams out there for as long as they can. Run there from Van Heeren. Now, Masuku. This is a good chance for the Sharks here. Going off to the left-hand side, they score now. This game's on for young and old because we're still 15 minutes remaining in this contest. And Lions and Stormers win the balls to lose to Munster. There's Ruben. Now that is going to be the tackle made. Williams looking to roll that ball back just that little bit further. Another good tackle made on Murray Costa. There is an advantage now for not rolling away. And Williams, and behind to Masuku. Skip pass. Going out to once again the man, Mavasiri at number 6. Is Canyo. I assume that is another one like your other word, toxic termite. How you're just trying to get me to say random stuff. If you mean Lucanyo, he is not, no. And Cardiff got a try, says Richard. And also, we have got there, please tell your boss, I'm not sure what that is, a massive white square, Hamish describing his last meal. Sounds about right. That one is going into touch now, 5 metres out from the line. Chance again for the Sharks. They've still, they're in this one. Just a little bit here. They score here, they'll be very happy with it. Maybe not, says Richard. Hamish never looks worn out, exhausted or whittled. He's always fresh, energetic and groovy. The way that I do it though, Ruth, is just to always be worn out, exhausted or wilted so that you guys never know what it's like for me to be fresh. And then that way, anytime I look exhausted, it's because I am, but it also looks like I'm fresh because you haven't seen me fresh. That makes sense? No try for Cardiff, says Richard. Now getting close to the try line. Chance here. 5 metres out, dragged. Oh, Glasgow get the scrum. And please, Sharks, prove them all wrong. There's trying my best, but that is a great turnover to come there for the Glasgow Warriors at a perfect time as well when the Sharks were just about to get that attack going. Looked like there was going to be a bit of push and shove there between Munjezi and one of the forwards for the Sharks. He got their hands on it. And it was not releasing it. Sometimes French people are just miserable, says Ruth. Now 13 minutes remaining now in this contest. Still 11 points difference. But Glasgow are not out of the woods as of yet. They are still yet to get themselves that bonus point that they have been after for this contest. I think that is a credit to the Sharks in the way that they have still been able to fight in this game. Hamish doesn't sleep, vampire amount of work ethic. Says bystander. Yeah, we've got plenty more coming up tomorrow night. We are going to be covering 3 games of the URC back to back to back, ladies and gentlemen. And then alongside that, we have also got the Super Rugby game between the Brumbies and the Blues that has taken place tomorrow, or tonight, about 10 and a half hours time, I believe. So when that one is going to be taking place, and also have a kick. There's Richard Horry. Deep press at the moment being taken by the Sharks forwards. I believe that is Quincy Mona there. That first cup of hot coffee in the morning, says Glenn. 12 minutes left. The clock is going relatively slow, which is a benefit for the Sharks. As soon as that clock feels like it's going quick, that is when they're going to find themselves in that little bit more trouble. Cheers, guys. I'm going to stick to my 32 times into my N64. Says goal story, bro. The ball is there for Glasgow. Now George Horn going across to Sione Tuipilotu. They are just using as a battering ram to get them those few extra meters. Now Horn does get that ball into touch. Good clearance from the Glasgow Warriors. Still 11 minutes left though. The Sharks, like I mentioned, they are not out of this game. They're considered as $21 underdogs. But if they score now, it's going to be changing. Right, Cameron Wright has made his way onto the field now. I don't think they've put Ethan Hooker onto the field as of yet in this matchup. Unless they put him on earlier on. It's hard to play overseas low. There's Outlaw. Now rolling ball there for the Sharks. Imagine Sharks win, says Ruben. I mean, if they did, it would be very impressive indeed. And if they can get themselves another try soon, like they are not out of the woods. Imagine if this is the game that they actually get themselves a bonus point win in. Another knock on. It's probably not going to happen though if they keep dropping the ball. I'll not take French lessons off Fleshin. And also coming Ulster, we are now 19 and Cardiff 17. Game over, says Richard. Yeah, that handling error hurts big time for the Sharks, and Ulster win, says Richard, and Cardiff win. Ulster is my predictions, says Ruben. Now 10 minutes remaining. Another scrum feed. John Plumtree, he'll be disappointed with how his side has played throughout this game because, I'll be honest, this hasn't been the best Glasgow performance that we've seen. Like, they had some good moments. They scored 3 tries. But, you know, the Sharks, they should have been much more in this game than they have been, if that makes sense. Like, if they didn't have the 12 handling errors, who knows what the score would be. And yes, there's still time, so who knows? Maybe they do get a little bit further back into this contest. I've realised if I sit back, it gets very dark because of the sun. And Sharks is down under with Plumtree. Good morning, Kiwi lads. It's raining for me. What's the weather like for you? The sun is out, which is why we got that random square next to me. Now passing out the back line. It is the Glasgow Warriors, the replacement Ross Thompson. Now Horn back across here for Glasgow. They still want that last bonus point. Going to be kicked high now. Horn, a little bit of an aimless kick, and it's going to be nicely claimed there by Chamberlain. It's had quite a quiet game for the Sharks, although the Sharks now have got the chance to attack. Crowd are booing because there was a bit of obstruction, but at the end of the day, there was no impact on the way that he did run forward. Ball is loose. Nice bit of pressure there from Vincent Tichuka. Plumtree is better with Palmtree. Here's Roof. Now Horn goes back across to the right-hand side again. Hey, I had to learn French at school until I was 14. Here's Fleshin. There's one man in the crowd chanting Glasgow. No one has joined in with him as of yet. Another knock on from the Sharks. Advantage in favour of Glasgow. And they will now go back for another scrum. And Asbota always used to say a good team must win anywhere in the world. Says Outlaw. And that's the thing. Like, the Sharks, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Their penalty count wasn't bad. And that's been something that's hurt them in the past. So it seems like they haven't been able to put together a game where they've either had good handling or a good penalty count. It seems like it has to be one or the other. And then the other option is normally pretty poor. Yes, but 14 was a long time ago for some of us. Says Grant. And says also 16 Cardiff, 17 on Google. Says Ryan. And Fleshin keep it up. And tomorrow the Stormers win by 15. Munster win the Bulls with 5. And Lions win Leinster with 5. Says Ruben there. Looks like a change is being made. Matt Ferguson taken from the field. And that is going to be for Ali Miller, who is now back out there. Time left. We have still got another 7.5 minutes remaining in this contest. So still plenty of time, theoretically, for one more try for the Sharks. One more try for Glasgow, perhaps. More of the case of whoever gets the next try pretty much secures a bonus point. But if the Sharks can score within the next 3 or 4 minutes, they could still have a chance of securing the late win. Glasgow going away to the right-hand side now, looping around play. Nice run from Ross Thompson. Got back up to his feet as he wasn't completely held. Now again, Fenter dragged down. Horn Goes away to the left-hand side here once more. Been told not to play it, that one, for number 21. And Outlaw, you're correct, Nas knew what he was talking about. Horn, back across to the right-hand side, the replacement Manjezi. Taken down again. Tuipulotu thought about the short pop pass. Well, this is just very good phase play from Glasgow, putting together a quick ball and just trying to keep this one alive, trying to find that next gap in the Sharks' defence. Looks like Ollie Kebble has actually stayed down. It's a 100th game for him. Now, kicking it in behind again here. Sees the space. It's got a bit too much juice on that one, and it does roll dead. And it is now once again going to be a scrum feed for the Sharks, and that does get them a bit further up the field now. Sharks are now considered as $31 underdogs. The chances of them winning are getting slimmer and slimmer. That is due to the brilliant defence that we've seen from the Glasgow Warriors throughout the first half. They had a tackle completion of 97%, whereas the Sharks only had 81% for their tackles made throughout that first half period. Looks like Chamberlain's got a little bit of cramp at the moment. And so is Ollie Kebble, so a bit more of a stoppage here. This game has run a lot longer than the other contest that we did see between Ulster and Cardiff, which has concluded. Anyone wondering about that game, the end score was a very close one between the two sides, but the winner of that game in the end was Ulster, winning at 19 points to 17. The tries being scored by McCann, and also Kabango managed to get himself 2 for Cardiff. They are just showing Ollie Kebble. He's back on his feet. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue in this match, though. He does look like he's in quite a bit of discomfort in that lower leg. And Jamie Doobie also has made his way onto the field. Yeah, Ollie Kebble now making his way from the field. So they have lost Ollie Kebble and Johnny Matthews in this game, Glasgow, which is not ideal. 2 key players for them, Gareth Edwards and Phil Bennett. That was my best halfbacks ever, says Outlaw. It looks like now Hiddleston is still on the field. I think the replacement for the prop side of things. It looks like he just took some big contact there, Ollie Kebble. And then as he was going down, just kind of twisted that ankle awkwardly. Time is off at the moment as he makes his way from the field. It is going to take a little while as he isn't able to put too much weight on that ankle. Welsh Dragons legends JPR Williams, Sears Ruth. There have been quite a few stoppages throughout this game, though, in terms of injuries, in terms of that TMO decision that did take about 2 minutes to work out. The French language was the opposite, has the opposite problem to the Welsh language, too many vowels. And game, set, match for the Glasgow Warriors, says bystanders. Although the Sharks have got themselves a scrum beat on the halfway line, with still 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Now Cameron Wright looking to this right-hand side. Good run from Ethan Hooker, and he's gone into touch. Bundled out by Glasgow's defence. Ethan Hooker on, yeah, he is just now on. Oh, hang on. Sharks tried to take that one quickly by the looks of it. Tuipulotu did actually get the interception, but it wasn't their throw, so they do have to go back for the original one. And Ulster nicked that. Says Leshen, yep, managed to steal it near the end of the game, but Ethan Hooker, some good stream. Oh, I can understand why the Sharks wanted to take that one quickly. That should actually be their line out. It's probably lucky that it was rolled back. Yeah, it's a line out for the Sharks. Crowd are not happy about it, but it was actually a clean strip off Ethan Hooker. Now 4 minutes left on the clock. Does use up more time. Sharks are in a huddle at the moment. I'm very confused. The crowd are booing because the Sharks are taking a while. Surely if the Sharks are taking longer, you actually, that's beneficial for the Glasgow crowd, isn't it? Because you're in that scenario Or they're saying maybe his foot was on the line there, Ethan Hooker already, but Fezambata now with the line out throw. But yeah, I don't think I've heard a crowd boo before when their team's up by 11 with only 4 minutes left on the clock. Like, I feel like that's one of those weird scenarios that you actually want it to take as long as possible. Now, Gubra Rula still throwing themselves at the line here, the Sharks, with 3.5 minutes remaining. Cameron White goes across to Grant Williams. And Joel's Ulster here. Says bystanders. And Ulster get the win barely, and Grant, you spot on. It's in the throat. It must come from the throat. Very important. Now pass on the outside. Sharks on the short side run out of space. And now it's going to be a line out for Glasgow. 3 minutes left. And never says John MC. And I got to see Barry John play way back in the day. And JPR and Phil Bennett Lions versus Bay of Plenty, 1972. But yeah, just no space down the wing to run into. 3 minutes left. Just talking about Glasgow Children's Hospital and the fact that they've so far raised £41,000 and clean strip of the hooker, says Grant. Then the best ever, JJ. Throat and a good bit of tongue rolling. Says Flesh, and it's going to be a Sharks scrum again here. 2 minutes left. It seems like this is destined for the Sharks to get within 7. The only thing that will stop them here, well, there's two things. The Glasgow defence that has been strong throughout the rest of the game, or the Sharks are going to drop the ball again like they have for about 12 times throughout this matchup. Right, the player of the match, Max Williamson, does get himself the player of the match. To get himself a try early on. Been some other very good performances, though, throughout these two sides. My pick at the start of the game for a possible man of the match was Sione Tuipulotu. He's done pretty well. Cordero as well. We're on the field, are they? They are currently on the 22. But just resetting the scrum has taken about a minute. So they're going to struggle to get a chance to win this game, the Sharks, but they can still get a bonus point from it. Cameron Wright looping around here. Masuku inside ball. That's going to be the penalty there. Going the way of the Shark. No, it goes the way of Glasgow. I think it was taking the man off the ball. That's going to be the game now. Glasgow, they still want another try though. Like them conceding a bonus point try to the Sharks, in terms of the Sharks getting within 7, doesn't really matter for them, I wouldn't say. Like the points differential side of it's not really going to come into it overall, but they have an opportunity still get one more try themselves. Now, 30 seconds left. Glasgow have got the victory, ladies and gentlemen. It's just more of the case of how much by and will they get the bonus point here. They are yet to score a singular point. Throughout the second half, though, that is where the Sharks have got the slight advantage, where they have been able to get themselves the 5 points. They've been told to use it once. Bit of a rough pass there from Dobie. It was on the bounce, but it's actually set up Glasgow for quite a good attack and break here, moving up to their halfway line. Good driving tackle from Ethan Hooker. Now across to the left-hand side, Glasgow 40 metres out from their line. Finta driven backwards. Being told to get out of there for Vincent Koch. He's wrestled down and looks like he's going to have a bit of a wrestle with the man who took him out of that breakdown. Now back across. Let's go Warriors on their own 22. Now the space is starting to open. Doobie does the sniping run round the side and he is through now. Chance to find that next pass. No, he couldn't get it away. And now a chance for the Sharks. Looking for the turnover. He's lost his footing though. Doobie now back into the pocket. Tuipulotu going across here. Space in the midfield for Stafford McDowell. Looks for the pop pass up and is able to get it away to Dobie again. A lot of pressure coming from the Sharks. And each of the breakdowns, they're trying their best to get that turnover. Not quite able to get it as of yet. Rough pass there. Tuipulotu has to clean it up on the halfway line. There's a nice bit of aggression coming from the Sharks in the breakdowns now, which they did not have earlier, which is very confusing because if they had that earlier, perhaps they could have gone for the 2-0. A little chip of mine, beautifully done from Dobie, gets it away. It's going to be a foot race. He hasn't got the speed and it's going to be knocked back, they say. So it's play on just for now. Looked like it may have travelled forward. Gubran Hrubala able to strip that ball. And it is now in the hands of the Sharks, who thought about kicking it. Masuku clears, gets it into touch, and that is the end of the game. 21 points to 10. Glasgow get themselves the 4 points. The Sharks walk away with 0 from this contest. And the second half, we only saw a total of 5 points. Take care, Roof, says Glenn Woods. And also we have got there, it's all about the tongue on an ice cream. Says Fleshin. And we have got their keyboard warrior shame. Says bystander, and it was great coverage of the game and got exciting right at the end there. Says Glenn Woods. And also thanks Fleshin Wales forever. Have a great day. Until next time, everyone keep safe. Says Ruth in there as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got our next live stream taking place in about 10.5 hours time. That will be the match between the Blues and the Brumbies. So be sure to check that one out as well. And alongside that, we've got the 3 games of the URC involving South African sides. First of which, Lions versus Leinster, followed by Munster versus the Bulls, and then Stormers versus Ospreys as well. And thank you, Hamish, for the good commentary. See you later, says Brian. So we will see you all later, but thank you all very much for being here. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the